So what you're seeing on the screen right now is a video from one of our clients, and their info product business makes over $5 million per month. We've added them multiple six figures through YouTube organic. In this video, I want to break down how, we actually run our YouTube process. Here you can see this screenshot. This is just off of 2 videos where we had 295 leads directly from YouTube. If you don't believe me, I have an interview with my boy Ryan Clark on the channel. Multiple high viewed videos, we have low viewed videos. I want to cover how we took this data and actually turned it into cash, like how YouTube strategy was actually done on this channel. And if you want to make more money on YouTube, simply watch this video. I'm not going to BS you. Let's get straight into it. It's going to be a raw and uncut video. So with part 1 of this, I want you guys to realize that data is king. We've been working with WarriorBabe now for 10 plus months, right? Within our first 1 to 2 months, like, we saw improvements within the content, and I can show you guys here on the channel. If I come back, this is our first upload right here. We saw improvements. We were making progress this video. You can see an outlier. You can see more outliers as we kind of scroll up, client interview, etc. So we were making progress, right? But we didn't see anything crazy. So that's why I wanted to show you guys right there. The thing is that if you don't know how to read your data on YouTube and adapt your YouTube strategy around that, like I said in the hook, then you're cooked. I'm going to teach you guys actually how to do it in this video later at the end. And literally, I'm going to cover the exact thesis I made before we worked with WarriorBabe, because we handled the entire process for them. So the idea, the script, thumbnail, video editing, posting, strategy, everything you can think of, scripting, we handled it for them. All they had to do was get on camera and record. So I know the entire process and actually how we made this money. So I want to tell you how to turn that data into cash. And then another aspect to it is you want to be able to tap into the tracking side. So as you can see up here, just us having the data behind, okay, this 20,000 woman angle, has 20 new leads. And then we see this video down here, need to balance your hormones and burn fat after 40, has, a different amount of leads. And just total, getting 295 leads off of 2 YouTube videos is crazy. We've had, and these were lower viewed videos. If I come to my Twitter, at the time, this video had 55K, the other one had 10K. At this point, just here, you guys can see 3 more of those type of videos. We have tons of them on the channel. So just imagine how much money we've made. When I did the original interview with Ryan Clark, we had over like 250K generated off of YouTube. It's been 5 months since then. So I'm just kind of updating you guys on the case study, which is why I said it's multiple 6 figures. But yeah, this was our first upload 10 months ago. And compared to this upload right here, so you can see the 2-month difference. It took us 2 months to finally get that first big win. And I want to show you guys how we made that possible. It's not possible without proper tracking. So they're tracking on high rolls. Even for my own personal YouTube content, I'm tracking. I have a video here that has less than 1K views that made me $6K. So I'm actively doing what I preach in the market. So if you guys are, learning from YouTube people or these gurus and they're not, actively doing it for themselves, this is just from a business channel. I also have a personal channel that makes me money as well. So that's how I'm thinking about that. Let's get into part 2. Which is going to help you guys understand how did we actually turn things around, right? Because it depends on what niche you're doing. This is not a biz op offer, even though we've worked with big biz op offers like Breast Scales, the Growth Partner, things of that nature. What you guys are seeing in front of your screen right now, right? Like, we had a recent client that Adavi literally has made 50K off of one video that's a biz op offer. This isn't a biz op offer. It's something way different. You have to tailor your strategy towards that. Since we are in a fitness niche, what we had to realize were a couple things. And this is how we actually took the data and played upon it. So the first thing is that practical content wins in this niche, but generally in majority of other niches as well. We started implementing this with a lot of clients. It could be, having the gym workout practically shown in the video. It could be, you recording a live sales call. It could be a dashboard breakdown showing what actually happened, right? And the more practical a video is, the better. I even recently realized this with our video that we made with my boy Sebastian Georgie. Like, this video generally recently crossed 1 million views. And it's just like, we handled everything behind it. The idea, script, thumbnail, literally everything you can think about. But it's him telling a story. But then within that video and the storytelling aspect, there's live old screenshots of how he was scaling the software company, call recordings, like just experiences that you can't fake. And that is part of the competitive edge. And that's what we allow to bleed throughout our content so that we can be seen as different. And there's a moat behind our content. This is not something that anyone can just go ahead and do, which is why practical content and live content wins in this current day and age, because there's a lot of people BSing their process. So the first thing was practical content. Second, once again, this is not a biz op offer. So we realized that before versus after content cooked a ton. If you guys come back to this first part, you can see we're doing the ultimate workout routine for women over 40. Yes, we're hitting our ICP with the women over 40, but it wasn't practical enough. It was too talking head. And then when we come to a video like this one, or just these two in general, like this at-home workout, 20,000 women lose menopause belly fat. These 5 exercises help 20,000 women lose menopause belly fat. It's before and after concepts, right? As you guys can see, just with those 2 title formats here, you can see that we're obviously doubling down on what works. And I have this visual that my boy Tyler, the lead strategist here at CCM, cooked up. And it just goes to show how we actually double down on concepts. So we have this, this outlier pop off. Then we have the bat wings video, which I'm going to talk about how we make our videos actually new and better. Because a lot of you are just doubling down on stuff, but you're going to reach something that is called audience fatigue. And when you get audience fatigue, you won't be able to get 1 of 10s like this off a new topic. So we realized that we were doubling down, right? And when we were doubling down, I'll kind of show you guys on the channel. We realized that we ran into audience fatigue. So we had a point here. If I come back to the mural board, you can see here 6 months ago, this was an outlier. And it generally took another 3 months until we ever got this outlier. And the reason that is because, once again, we ran into audience fatigue. But what is audience fatigue? Audience fatigue is basically your audience is tired of seeing the same topics, titles, and thumbnails. So simply, they are not clicking on the video. So this was that outlier. We go here. Yes, we're still making content. Like this video is a smaller outlier, 2.2x. If I come up here, there should be like another small outlier. Let's see. Yep, right here, 4.1x. But once again, we're not getting any pop off. So it takes us another 3 months of realizing, okay, why is this not working? Oh, shoot, we get the light bulb, audience fatigue. Now, this was 3 months ago. If I scroll up more, you guys are going to see our outliers have been coming more consistently. Boom, the next month we have an outlier. Why? Because we realize that we need to make our content new, but also better. What does it actually mean to make content new and better? Then we have another outlier. If I scroll up, we're going to get another one too. So it's just like, that's how it's really working. But how do you make something new and better, right? So the aspect of making something new is simply, I think the new part is how can you make the information in the video new? How can you make it be something that they haven't heard before, or present it or angle it in a way where the audience feels as if it is new information, right? How can you make it better? So with the better part, I feel like this is more so tied into what you're actually doing on the YouTube side. So this could be the title format. Is it more unique now? This could be the thumbnail. This could be the editing. This could be just overall how the video is packaged. How can you make it better than the last one? So if I come up here, you can obviously, this is before and after, right? But when we come to this idea, it looks like the packaging in itself, it looks new. Like it's not the same before and after. It's still doubling down on that before and after because they can see the progression of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But it's a different, video. And within the thumbnail, they can see that we're practically working out. In the video, we're also going to show that aspect. So make sure if you want to avoid audience fatigue that you have to make your videos new, but also better. And to get into the last part of the video, which I think is the biggest insight, what were the practical things we actually did on YouTube within the strategy, the scripting, behind the scenes to make these videos perform, which takes us into phase number 3. So YouTube strategy, the before and after. Before, generally speaking on this channel, if I scroll back down past the 10-month mark, you guys are going to see that they are only really posting podcast videos the thing is that when they would post a YouTube video like this one, how I'd lose 20 pounds and get lean, this wasn't with our team. If I had to start over, like this is, based off a proven format, basically it instantly performed better than the podcast. So they knew that if they put a little bit of effort, it'll work, but their execution sucked. Like YouTube, it's its own game. It's generally not as easy as people think. So yes, they can post this content, yes, they can get views, but does that mean that they're also collecting cash? Because the goal was to maximize views with them, but also the conversions, and we were able to do that after we made the changes. So I'm going to talk about that. On the other end of the spectrum, we had copying competitors 1 of 1. Once again, their content looks like everyone else's in the niche. If I pulled up their competitors, which we did that research prior, it looks like everyone else's, and there was no proven formats here. you can see they obviously leverage like a proven title, but then the thumbnail is kind of off. Like the text is super small. The before and after, you really can't see the distinct transformation compared to our current thumbnails. And those are things that we are looking at. After, what are we implementing? Niche transferring. So the topic of niche transferring is as simple as basically seeing what is working in adjacent, indirect, even direct niche and bringing it over to a space like fitness. And we did this multiple times on the channel. And a lot of times, honestly, it just comes from taking something that worked from a competitor and making it new and better. So if I come to our most popular videos, yes, we were able to take outliers and make them new and better, but we also double down on the information from our channel. So you see this video is before and after, this video is before and after, before and after, before and after. Then we found this was taken off of a different, I guess, outlier strategy research type of thing. Like we found a proven format when it comes to thumbnails and we tied it back to the fitness niche. Here's another before and after, but instead of it being a side by side, vertically, we made it a side by side horizontally, so that the video instantly looks like something new. And then we're targeting specific body parts. This was something that we brought up in our strategy calls. Instead of us just talking about, how to lose many pounds belly fat, let's talk about specific body parts. What is a huge pain of our ICP? Bat wings. So at the thesis of my strategy, it's always going to be figuring out what are, the pains, desires, fears, and motivators of your ICP. So figuring out like the actual psychographics, which is once again pains, desires, fears, motivators, and then reverse engineering those into actual YouTube video ideas. On top of that, we had data-backed outlier research. So when I say data-backed, a lot of people are going to copy outliers and they're not really seeing like, is this an outlier I can truly copy? They're just, once again, they're copying it one of one, and that's not how you win on YouTube generally at all. I promise you, if you do that, you're gonna look like copycat, you're gonna look like the second option. You need to be trailblazing, you need to be making new ideas while leveraging the data, the structures that actually do work. So that's how I view that. And we just made their scripts a lot tighter. How did we make those scripts tighter? So I went and took our actually strategy docs that we make for clients. We make 3 strategy docs when a client gets onboarded. I put in the ChatGPT and I told it to give me a breakdown of why, were we able to scale up to where we are now. And it broke down these things that I want you to go apply for your info business ASAP. So first things, strong positioning. We're gonna make Nikki or WarriorBabe the go-to authority for women that wanted to lose fat over 40. It was that simple, which is why if you look at a lot of our titles, we are specifically targeting women over 40. Modern YouTube packaging, once again, before and after, before they were not tapped into what are the trends on YouTube, what are the outlier formats performing, they didn't know what was happening. They didn't know how to, create a thumbnail that gets attention and a title that, gets a click, that makes people curious to click. They didn't know how to do that, but we came in, we handled that, and we knew that was a huge bottleneck of why they weren't growing on YouTube. Even though their prior videos where they were using proven formats, they were getting a little bit, better growth. When we came in and handled everything, blow up videos all over the channel, most popular videos all over the channel, you know what I'm saying? So next was the personality and authority aspect. So we didn't want to be another robotic fitness channel. So in the videos, we're tying in personality. What I mean by personality is also their story, their experiences. So, what they went through when they were in menopause, tying that into the story is also part of the competitive edge, because at the end of the day, people buy from people. So the more relatable that your videos are, relatability helps leads actually convert. So this was a thing that we really tapped into. Showing over telling, once again, this is just like live content. We just had a recent day in the life video pop off. Now we're now starting to double down on that. The more practical your stuff is and the more you're showing over telling, the niche is going to like it. Then we went proof heavy on the content. So this is literally the idea that made us blow up is something that I had on our original strategy doc, which is funny enough, the 20,000 women angle. I was like, that is such a huge number of women of lives that they transformed, and I wanted to use it within our ideation. So what did I do? I took a proven format, leveraged a competitive edge of 20,000 women, and if I look at our channel now, majority of our videos that are popular are now leveraging that 20,000 women angle. And that's simply because we are actually tapping into that competitive edge, leveraging the proof that they have within their brand, and not just like, coasting by like it doesn't exist. A lot of you have crazy competitive edge, but your audience doesn't know because you're not allowing it to bleed through. And then last but not least, ICP obsession. Once again, we are focused on that over 40. A lot of our videos target that. We might test going more broad, but we've seen it be proven after 40 here. You can see after 40 here, over 40, like we know that works, and we do want to make money from our content, which we have made. But yeah, that's how I really think about it. I have tons of other videos on the channel if you guys want to understand scripting, thumbnail strategy, things like that deeper. But this was like the overall thesis of how we made this channel multiple six figures with YouTube, and their info product continues to make $5 million plus per month. So hopefully you guys find this valuable. If you want to do the same thing for your info product, SaaS, B2B business, etc., like some of the clients on our screen right now, I'm not saying you're going to get the same results as them, but they have vouched for our service. They know we are legit. And if you want to tap in, just click the first link down below to book a call, and I'll let you know if I think we can actually work together. Besides that, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.